Let's take a look at why creative constraints make us more productive and way more creative. Most of us, including myself, assume more freedom equals more creativity. Open brief, endless options, room to go anywhere. But here's what I've noticed after years of making things. And yes, I know I'm old, so yes, I do have a few years of experience. The projects with the most freedom are often the hardest to finish or even start. But the ones with tight constraints tend to move faster and sometimes come out better. Fewer choices means less overwhelm. Every open decision costs mental energy, tempo, key, structure, length, tone. Multiply that across a whole creative project and you've burned most of your creative fuel before you've made anything. I've mentioned before, we only have so many creative calories. Although, that's not an excuse to drink and eat more sugar, Darren. A constraint removes a category of decisions entirely. You're no longer managing options. You're making the work. You're creating. Barry Schwartz's Paradox of Choice explains this. More options don't free us, they paralyze us. And the same applies in any creative field. Limits push us toward more original solutions. When the easy, regularly used paths are removed, you have to find different ones. That's where interesting things happen. Research across studies found that moderate constraints consistently boost creative output. The limit is perceived as a challenge, which increases motivation and originality. The challenge actually increases your creativity. Total freedom tends towards the familiar. We reach for what we already know. A constraint forces a detour, and detours are often where the best ideas are, the unexplored country. You don't need permanent rules, just temporary ones. A constraint is most useful as a tool for a session or a project. Pick it up, use it, but then put it down. And it doesn't have to be logical or make sense. Just use one microphone or 3 chords. Finish in an hour, use only black and white, and so on. The constraint's job isn't to be a good rule, its job is to narrow the decision space and get you moving. Once you're moving, it's done its work. You can either keep it or drop the constraint. It doesn't have to be a set rule for all time. It's just another tool in your creative toolbox. Next time you're stuck at the start of something, don't try to solve it by opening up more options. Try closing some down. Pick one constraint, any one, and apply it for your next creative session. A limit, it turns out, can be one of the most useful creative tools you have. What constraints will you use next time? I'll see you soon. Bye.